And welcome back, everyone. Season 2, Episode 6 of the Bear Down Breakdown. I am your host, Gustavo Arriaga, with my great co-host,
Ronan Clark.
We are nearing the end of our fall quarter, guys, already. One more show next week, and that is it for now. Up until we move to Zoom, because they're going to kick us out of this place.
No, they're not. You're just leaving.
Yeah,
so.
well, that too, but so is our editor, Henry, because he's in a dorm.
You're just dipping out.
I mean, we have to. They're going to boot him out. But regardless, we have a good episode, and our friend has rejoined us.
Hi, my name is Fatima Fernandez. Thanks for having me once again.
Welcome back. We brought you right back. And then Ronan, who do we have joining us later?
Yeah, we have a special guest joining us, Pat, the designer of ESPN, Windy City Breeze, a couple other writing sources. So that should be a really good interview. He's been super nice and helping us out, and he is coming on the show. So make sure to give him a follow when he comes on. Excited
to have him, man. And excited is an understatement when it comes to this past game on Sunday. Absolute thriller of a game. Bears and Cincinnati. What transpired, what went right and what went wrong, and what was simply terrible, Ronan?
Oh, man. That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. I was in Arizona watching it. It was like 11 a.m., and I remember right when they scored on us after that fumble. That was so bad. It was. I don't think I've seen a worse play on special teams than what happened there. And we had a lot of really good guys on special teams too. Like, we've always had a pretty consistent special teams roster, and so for them to completely whiff on that play and put us in that position was unacceptable. But that entire game, man, we had a lot of players coming. Oh, sorry.
But no belting on the air, buddy. We're going to get kicked off the air.
On air. Yeah, we're going to get kicked off. But we had a lot of players who really stepped up. Caleb stepped up. Kyle Monungai stepped up. Colston Loveland stepped up. And we had a lot of really cool plays that we ran through, too. But
we did.
That'll be for somebody else. But, man, that defense, unacceptable. That cannot be how it is.
Yeah, that was bad, dude.
You know, like, if we are going to be playing against some of the teams that we're going up against, we need the defense to improve. And if Ryan Poles isn't willing to at least go out, maybe sign Asante Samuel, or maybe we switch something up, or if we try and get Kyler Gordon back, maybe try and get Jalen Johnson back a little bit quicker, our defense might get better. But honestly, we've taken our defense from the worst, our run defense from the worst in the league to second.
They've been really good.
And comparatively to the New York Giants, who are 31st right now, I think that bodes really well for us going into our next game. But
I agree.
Fatima, I'll hand it off to you. How do you feel about the game against Cincinnati?
So it was a very hectic game, to say the least. It felt like that one meme that's like, it's over, we're back, it's so over, we're back again. It's so over for real. Oh, we won. Okay, putting aside that unlucky onside kick where the ball made contact with the Bears player's foot, the game really should have not been that close.
Mm-hmm.
That defense was falling apart in those last few minutes, and I get that like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are the receivers, but I feel like in moments like that, Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon's absence was really noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, it was. We needed them so bad, man.
Especially against guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, dude, you know what I'm disappointed?
You knew they were going to go off. But Tyreek Stevenson held his own against Jamar. You did not hear his name called too much.
No. Jamar finally got his name called at the very end, the moment he got put on Nashawn Wright and Nick McLeod for some odd reason.
Yeah,
but the moment Tyreek Stevenson was on him, he held his own. So
Tyreek, man.
He's been the only bright spot.
What a story so far. What a story.
Yeah, on that corner squad, he's probably been the only bright spot on there. And you know what player I'm really disappointed with, man? Nashawn Wright.
Oh, my
Dude, remember that T. Higgins catch we just wrapped around his arms and just caught it for a touchdown? Dude, Nashawn Wright's the same height as T. Higgins. They're both 6'4", lanky, long arms. I'm hoping our 6-foot corner can match up well with a 6'4" receiver. He looked horrible. How are you the perfect dream matchup and not many 6'4" corners out there, and you get dogged on by T. Higgins?
I can't believe some of the players that we let put on a Chicago Bears uniform.
Absolutely. The fact that we let Nashawn Wright go out there and match up against T. Higgins the whole game is absolutely unacceptable.
And we got to talk about Cairo.
We do got to talk about Cairo.
What is he doing?
That means we're going to have Cairo talk in a minute here. But
I guess
we'll go step by step. What went right? Instead of talking about the negatives and the bad team, what went right? Because this was a win. So let's talk about the positives.
The offense, 100% the offense. Seeing Kyle Monungai go for 190-some yards.
God, yeah.
Colston Loveland for 110. Even against Joe Flacco, who threw for 457 yards?
He had a game.
Like, what the hell? That was insane. I don't think and for Flacco being as old as he is, 41, playing at that rate, even with the fact that he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they were abysmal. Their defense was abysmal, but Flacco kept them in that game, which is all the respect to him, man. That was an incredible performance that Flacco put up, but we were better, and we wanted it more. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing. You know, you didn't see that last year with the Matt Eberflus-led teams where we'd get down in some of these games that we were winning, and we would just, like, flounder. We would completely drown under the pressure, and we'd lose. That was another game that I was like, this is about to be our Washington game. This is going to be the Hail Mary that kills us.
Yep.
This is going to derail the season. I was so ready. I was like, my day is ruined. I hate this so much. But just the fact that we were able to go down the field, hit Colston Loveland, go all the way for the touchdown, that was ridiculous. I don't think I've never seen anything like that happen for the Bears. And that,
never.
I think it's really just a turn of fates for us that we have needed for so long. And the fact is, you know, Colston Loveland, Kyle Monungai, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, you have 4 guys who are playing at an elite level right now, and they're pretty much rookies.
Yep.
Like second-year guys, Darnell Wright in his 3rd year. You have a lot of guys, a lot of these pieces who are like really essential players. And then Stevenson, who's been playing out of his mind.
Unreal.
And then you had already extended a lot of our key players. So, you know, just seeing how our team is right now, hopefully Joe Tyron Shoyinka is a good acquisition. Don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that.
We'll go down to the minute.
We'll go
here.
down to that. But the pass rush needs to get better, of course. Montez did have a game.
He did
which
have
was
a
very
game.
good. But everybody else just seemed to be falling behind, and then you lose Dio. Dio can go, man.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't even worth making a segment about him being out for the year, dude.
Cut him. Like, we knew it wasn't going to be a good idea.
We had
a feeling. It was the same thing that happened with Al-Qadim Muhammad, where we grabbed him, and it was like, oh, this is like our favorite player. He's such a promising guy. We signed him to this kind of like flimsy contract. And
Yikes.
Blows up
From
in
the
our
Colts,
face.
too, dude. Why do we love former Colts players, man?
I don't know.
Al-Qadim and Dio were both dumb. He wasn't even worth running in the notes today because, honestly, dude, like, out for the year, boo-hoo, what do we worry about? He's terrible. And we can't even cut him because we'll take a massive cap penalty. So we're going to just stick it out because Ryan Pohl is special. But, Fatima, let me ask you a question here. What do you feel went right that was your favorite part of that game? Because, yes, we could say more, but what do you feel was essential from a noticeable difference from last year?
One part that I really enjoyed from the game, and I will say is a positive, are the trick play masterclass.
Yes.
The trick play masterclass by Ben Johnson, our offensive wizard. He pulled up some of his tricks against, I'll say, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. That Rome to DJ to Caleb Philly special, or as the NFL deemed it, the Windy City special. Such a good play. And then that double pass from Caleb to Bajent to then Caleb, and then Tooney was ready to like block in front of him, and like they got some yards out of that. They played it
so well.
I think Ben Johnson deemed it the baby daddy.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
Perfect execution on both of these trick plays. Really nice to see.
It was so funny what he called it. I mean, yeah, we'll get into that. There's more because there's that Cole Kmet one too. We went under the center and he threw it to Rome and ended up being incomplete. I don't know. Rome didn't have a good game that day, but
Rome got no receptions.
He had multiple chances. He dropped a touchdown.
My mom was so mad. She has him on her fantasy team.
That
and
works
he
for
got
you.
like no point. Yeah, I know, but she still beat
And
me.
the people want to blame that on Caleb. I'm like, dude, Rome dropped an open touchdown, dropped that pass from Cole Kmet, dropped multiples that didn't get open. But you know what? I'd rather have his bad game come against a bad defense rather than his bad game come against an elite tier defense that would help us propel us over the top. Now, over the top, Kamanunga and Colston Loveland. We've already shone the light on them and we talked about them already, but let's dive into their performances. Let's start off with Kamanunga.
Yeah.
Because our takes last week were freezing cold. Don't lie, especially you.
We couldn't even post any of the clips.
No.
I was so embarrassed.
It's crazy. Speak for yourself. Because
Yeah,
I said I wouldn't be too confident, but I believe in him. You just said I'm not confident at all. So talk to me.
I really didn't. And I'm glad to be wrong, though. I
love to eat my words when it comes to stuff like that.
I'm glad to be wrong about Kyle and Colston and all those guys. We had a clip that Mr. Henry made, and I like the first couple seconds, it was like, Kyle Monungai is absolute crap. And it was like, crap.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not confident in him whatsoever.
I was, because, man, like 190 yards, I think that's making me eat my words and then go all the way down, like, my stomach.
Yeah,
that was
dude.
insane.
He made you eat your words, and I want you to talk about his performance here.
That was incredible. Like, it reminded me of David Montgomery. Like, if we had seen Monty go play through his initial contract with the Bears and be on this Bears team right now, this is how he would have looked. And so having a guy like Monungai, 7th-round guy, which, funnily enough, that 7th-round pick that we used on him was actually Khalil Herbert.
Yes.
Yeah. So That's a crazy stat. And then Khalil Herbert, who we traded to the Bengals, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous, man. There was so many. And then Colston. That was crazy. I think
that was his get-right, like, everything game.
His breakout game,
in my opinion.
Yeah. This, I think, really what's happening is we're seeing two players that have been established stars on our team. Well, maybe Swift, but Kmet. We're seeing them kind of get phased out a little bit. And I think that that's exactly what this front office wants, is we still have two guys who are very competent football players like DeAndre Swift and Cole Kmet, who we can potentially trade in the offseason, get rid of their contracts, keep our younger guys. I think it's a really good move by them, and it's, again, adding that pressure that they were talking about earlier in the year. You remember when Ben Johnson said nobody has a secure starting spot.
He also said get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I would say Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's about to be a very bumpy road for you guys.
Especially with Cole Kmet's injuries now.
Yes.
It is interesting. Let me get your opinion on that, too, and their performances, and how important was that to this game? Because at some point it felt like nobody was getting open, and then Loveland came in and just did his thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk about Manangai here for a second. He was a sleeper pick, and, like, a bunch of teams passed up on him, and I'm assuming that it was because of, like, his build, his height. So we were able to draft him in the 7th round, and he was amazing this game. And I feel like with the absence of DeAndre Swift and Rashawn Johnson, he really took advantage of the opportunity and gave an amazing performance. As for Colston Loveland, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, right?
Yes, he was.
I think so, yeah.
As I said, breakout game from him, 2 touchdowns, 118 yards.
Yes.
Yeah, 118 yards. And that first touchdown, he was able to, like, use his strength and like get that space and really, like, catch the ball comfortably. And for that winning play, obviously, amazing work from him. Yeah. And he was able to use, once again, like, his strength to, like, avoid the tackle and his agility to really make that run for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he finally used his height and advantage and everything, because, I mean, he's on a much smaller corner. In that original slant route to score a touchdown, he literally bullied that corner, and then at the end of the play, he got hit because they tried to, like, jar the ball end, and the safety fell down instead of Loveland. You're 6'6", 250. You should absolutely be winning those situations. And you know who doesn't? Cole Kmet. So get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. You're out of here.
He's more of a blocking tight end.
But even then, dude, he's still shown flashes of a receiver, and he's not worth the money. I'm not paying a blocking tight end $8 million. That's what we have Durham Smythe for, honestly.
I think we're in the same position that Detroit was in when they had Hawkinson and Laporta.
And they realized Hawkinson has to go. And I think right now we need to go everything all in on Loveland, right?
Tua.
Okay.
Like,
dude.
with that winning play, do you think if it was Cole Kmet, do you think he would have?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Cole Kmet's been known to fall down on purpose. There was a clip before that somebody said, I think it was actually Chase Daniel does a film review. I don't know if you've seen it on your page, but he literally has said that I like the fact that he held the ball in, tucked it in, and embraced for impact. Yeah. So he clearly was ready for impact and was ready to keep going. Whereas Cole Kmet would have gotten and just fell to the ground.
Well, we would have won by a field goal anyway, but it's the
Cairo.
But it's the difference between, like,
but
winning securely and winning, like,
in that way,
just barely.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's a clear difference of mentality between both tight ends. Cole Kmet never uses height advantage, ever. There's a reason this dude was never in for the goal line situations on fade routes.
It's also just the fact that it's a new guard, but
that is
Cole
true.
Kmet has been around for the old guard too. And I think that influence still has a lot. Like, because you've seen it, a lot of the guys who were around significantly for those Eberflus years.
Yeah, I mean, they
seem to be struggling. Yeah. So, like, those guys seem to have had a harder time assimilating with the system than the newer guys. And, you notice that. Like, Roma Dunze has been doing a lot better because he didn't have much time to really kind of, soak in the Eberflus system. Yeah. Caleb's doing better. Colston's already doing great. Manungai's doing great. A lot of guys who didn't have much time in that Eberflus system are now excelling, and I think that's a good thing because you see how he's performing for the Cowboys defense.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Ooh.
Brings a smile on my face. Hate the Cowboys, and I hate that. But with that, guys, we're going to be going to our first ad break. 15 more minutes, we'll be bringing on a special guest. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Bear Down Breakdown. Yeah, Ronan, you did say the mango habanero wings are spicy. I don't want to hear it.
No, I've just been congested. You know my situation.
My God. That is true. That's why
He's
out here lying. We're lying now. Well,
I never lie.
The never lying part, Caleb's clutch factor, that never lies and it stands true every single time. I saw a stat. He has led game-winning drives in 3 of his last 4 road games this season. In every road game he's been, besides the Ravens game, which is the mess to begin with, he has won and led them to game-winning drives. What are our reactions to this and kind of evaluate the job he has done so far? Ronan, talk to me.
He's locked in. He's ready. You know what? You know what he said in the Hard Knocks?
What did he say?
He's like, I don't get scared. He doesn't. He gets in those big moments. He knows what to do.
He loves it.
He doesn't have Matt Eberflus behind him.
Yep.
It's like, yes, it's competency.
He's able to uncork it.
It feels like every time that we're down, we have a chance to win. And I like that. I like the fact that we finally have a chance. Because in a lot of those games, we get behind. It's like there is no chance. We are screwed. Yeah, it's such a good feeling. It's like, I've never felt like this before.
Before we be down, you're like, yeah, this game's over. We're not going down the field.
Oh my gosh. I would have been like, the minute they recover that onside kick, I turned the TV off.
Yeah.
My dad turned the TV off. He's like, it's done.
Oh.
And then he's in the parking lot. He calls me. He's like screaming on the phone. He's like, oh my God.
He didn't believe.
I'm like, what happened?
He didn't believe in you, man.
Dude, Bengals, what happened?
What did happen? What did happen, actually? You tell us. Talk to us about his amazing clutch factor. I mean, it's undeniable. He has been clutch so long last year and this year. So talk to me about that.
He was very clutch this game, the game-winning drive. A bunch of people after that Bengals game were potentially doubting his abilities as a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. Let's not lie. You saw a lot of that talk online. And he needed this. Moments like that, plays like that are what makes a franchise quarterback. He was clutch.
He was. He did exactly what he needed to do. And then you talked about his trick plays. But, I mean, how important do you think that those plays were? I mean, the Philly special, the fake Philly special, the Tyson Bagent one. I mean, they had direct snaps to different players. I mean, they were all over the field, man. I like the different play action passes they had. They were just able to move the pocket around and let Darnell Wright eat too, because he was eating that game. So how much did you like those trick plays?
I thought those trick plays were great, and the fact that they were executed so well. And
it shows they practice.
It shows they practice, and he read the field well. He mostly placed the ball well to his receivers, and I'd say it was a very good game from him. He, instead of forcing plays, he used his legs more.
Yes.
And he used a lot of plays where he just kind of passed it to the flat or threw it to his check down, so that was good.
And we needed that more for sure, because there was a lot of criticism about Caleb big game hunting. I don't know if you heard that before, right?
I was gonna say a lot of what he was doing early in the season, which was kind of screwing us up, was
the big
he was
game,
looking
big
for
play.
like the check downs were there. It's like if you can take those little 5 yards, 5 yards, you're down the field in like what? You do 5 yards every play, you're down the field in about 10 plays.
Exactly. I mean, look how it worked for the Bengals, dude. Like, they checked down all game, and I mean, besides a couple explosive plays.
And not even that. It's just like if you have the players to make that kind of space, and you're going against linebackers that struggle with those crossers, that's something that it can mess up a linebacking core and all that cohesion with just a simple crosser. You put the tight end going over the middle. You put your number one wide receiver going over.
Yes.
It's like they don't know who to stay on. It's
and now you can sneak somebody out underneath.
You funnel them up.
Yeah, I mean, it worked too. Like we mentioned it, he was big.
This is my Madden knowledge coming in. Right
Madden
now,
knowledge.
Right? We're playing Madden tonight, by the way.
We're playing Mesh Concepts.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke you in Madden.
You always say this, and I beat you.
Well, I say it just so then you get on, so then you're like,
that's fair.
Yeah,
and then I gotta prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of what it is, we smoked the Bengals. Speaking of that, like despite the score, like we really did everything perfect on offense. He took the checkdowns. He's not big play hunting. Like after the half. That first whole half, you could see that he was trying to get a big play. But then you realize, like, hey, Ben Johnson spoke sense to him. He checked down more. He took his shorter routes. He waited for them to develop underneath. He ran the other side. He even threw crossbody, too. Like, he was looking a lot more well-prepared and well-practiced. Now, who didn't look well-practiced was the defense. I mean, dude, we got to address these woes and injuries, man. Because this Sunday, TJ Edwards out. He is out with a broken hand. I mean, like, dude, how do these injuries keep piling up? Yes, Noah Sewell's fine and Tremaine Edmonds is here, but at one point, do we start being like, all right, how much is too much on injuries?
At what point do we start wrapping them all in bubble wrap and putting them below the plane on the way over?
At this point, dude, at this point.
I mean, come on, like we'll just we'll start freezing them in cryo chambers like Master Chief and break them out on Sundays when we need them. Like, somebody's got to stay healthy. Like somebody important has to stay healthy.
Edmonds.
Everybody. Tremaine is debatable, but you know, like he's been good. He's been good because he can play really well, stepping up. But when it's just him, it's like, you know, because TJ, when Tremaine has to overcompensate, he does better because he's really fast, he's really lanky, he's all over the field.
And he's athletic.
And Noah Sewell is more of like that blitzing guy, but he can play spy really well. I like that about him. However, whenever it's TJ Edwards, they're both kind of competing for those same kind of plays. You see it because TJ wants to fly around, you know, Tremaine wants to fly around, and then like you'll see what happened. And then also those penalties, that penalty on Loveland, like what the hell? Like, what was that? We got to talk about that because I think that's ridiculous. I think another one of our biggest woes has just been like, what is with the penalties?
We got to clear them up for sure.
Are we an undisciplined team?
I mean, I don't want to say we're an undisciplined team, though, because, I mean, like, dude, this is a Ben Johnson-led team. They were not like that with Detroit, but I'm going to give them grace, you know?
In Matt Eberflus's system, we did not have as much penalties.
That's true.
That was a point of emphasis.
He also was here for like 3 seasons, though.
Well, still, I mean, like that was a huge point of emphasis. That when we got into his second year, it was like no penalties at all. We had like the lowest of all the teams. And that was our one flex point.
Well, to be fair, though, how many penalties have been BS, though? We also got to consider that.
All of them. All of them.
You can at least
every
consider,
penalty against us.
realistically speaking, at least 20 have been terrible. We had like 10 bad ones in over 2 games. Even if
Tremaine Edmonds just like Vontez Burfict, Christian Watson at some point, it's not our fault. You know?
No, absolutely not. It'll be warranted.
Matthew Golden.
He's terrible. Bud. You know Caleb has more receiving touchdowns than he does?
He does.
Yeah, Matthew Golden and the Packers are sorry. But I guess I'll flip the page to you, Fatima. I mean, isn't that absurd then how many injuries we keep having? We expect everybody to get healthy and be better at the right time, and it just simply does not happen.
That secondary definitely needs some help. You could really feel the absence of Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon. And I hope that with the addition of CJ Gardner, they can slightly improve. But again, like as you said, like a bunch of key players are out, and that secondary definitely needs some help.
They're screaming for help. And speaking of secondary help, Asante Samuel Jr. has been cleared by the NFL to play, and he is visiting the Bears on Tuesday.
Sign him right now.
What are your thoughts on this development? He's probably going to visit all teams first and then make a decision.
But who, out of all the teams, it was like the Packers,
Packers, Cowboys, 49ers, Bears, and like 3 other more.
I think we'd be like top 3.
I agree.
Because Packers, you know, they could use it, but I think it would really just be like, who does he want to go to more? And
which defensive scheme he likes the most.
Yeah. I mean, who? Because he's coming from the Chargers?
The Chargers, correct.
So, it's not the Staley system.
Well, I mean, when he was with them, it was the Staley system, but it's only the Minter system.
I think we're going to be at least top 3. It's going to be the Niners, it's going to be the Packers, and it's going to be us.
I really agree.
Don't see who else it could be.
But even then, I think I wouldn't even regard the 49ers that high because look how injured they are, and their conditioning staff's terrible. You really think he wants to get re-injured again? So, if he has to come to a team, it should definitely be the Bears. We need this secondary help bad.
Packers, though.
Huh?
It's probably going to be the Packers.
I hope not, but it probably is because of the whole thing.
Just knowing our luck.
Yeah, with the whole Micah Parsons thing and all that. But, like, get him out of our division, please. And I guess before we start preparing for our guest soon, Fatima, talk to me about how big this would be because you mentioned we need secondary help and we need corner help. How bad do we need him? Because him and Tyreek would be helpful.
I think he would be a great addition, and like until next Tuesday, like come on, like we need him now. But as you said, like I could see some competition with like him potentially choosing to go to like say the Packers or the 49ers, although I do kind of doubt the 49ers for the same reasons that you said, like conditioning. But yeah, he would be a great addition to the secondary. That secondary needs so much hope.
Anything they can get at this point.
The 49ers are like half the team dies halfway through the season.
He should not be going to them. We need him
Mac
so bad.
Jones starting. Like,
he's starting
what
again.
They're doing. Like half the team just dies, and then when they're healthy, they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and when they're healthy, they don't even win the Super Bowl. So I don't get
My
it.
mom just dropped Ricky Purcell. Should I pick him up?
No.
Because we have so many receivers.
I just want to say, and also he's also projected to like not play this week as well. I don't know.
Never projected to play. He's either shot in the hospital or injured.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him, man.
Come on, Ricky.
I'm just begging that we get Asante Samuel, please. We need the help bad.
We do.
But here's a question I'm gonna offer to you before we get ready to bring in Pat. There's reports saying that he's looking for a multi-year contract. And then at that point, I don't know if I'd be willing to give it to him because we have Jalen on a 4-year, Kyler on a 3-year, and then Tyreek's going to be wanting a contract too. When all our corners are healthy, do we really want to pay 4 corners top-tier money?
I'd pay him a 2-year.
But what if he doesn't want a 2-year? And that's a deal breaker coming either here or there.
He can go and be in green and gold and stink it up for them.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, Green Bay could offer because they don't have a number 1 corner. Whereas
Gilmore.
We would do it. I would actually love Stephon Gilmore for a 1 year, but it appears that we're not going to simply do it.
What is the reason why he's not in the league?
I don't know.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I have no idea why. I mean, it's ridiculous what we should do, but we should try at least and see if he's interested in a 1-year prove-it deal. We're like, hey, we like what you do, we like what you're shown, but we need to know, are you healthy enough? Can we toss you in a 1-year prove-it deal? So it could be Stevenson and no longer Wright, thank God, and Samuel on our boundaries, and then Chauncey and Nickel and Kyler when he comes back, kind of move him in that role. But we'll see how that goes. We'll be right back, guys, because Pat is going to be coming on. Talk to us soon. And welcome back, everybody, to the Bear Down Breakdown. I'm your host, Gustavo Arriaga, with my 2 great co-hosts, Fatima and Ronan. Ronan, who do we have on the other line here?
We have Mr. Pat, the designer. How are we doing?
I'm very good. How are you guys?
Man, we're amazing.
We're
Happy to have you on,
here.
I appreciate you guys for having me on, man.
For sure.
We're ecstatic. We couldn't believe you answered our DM, to be honest with you, man.
If I see it, I try to get to them. A lot of the stuff goes into the requested, but if I see it, I try to answer it.
We appreciate you, man. We know we had a lot of high hopes for you. But, Ronan, go ahead and kick us off, man. Talk to our guy over here.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think as all Bears fans are wondering, why did we not make any significant moves during the trade deadline? Do you have any rationale for that, or are you in the same boat as us where you're wanting some more?
I mean, listen, if you were going to go after somebody big, right, like a Trey Hendrickson, I think that's kind of the one where you find out that second-round draft capital is what the Bengals essentially were looking for. You still got to make that work financially for you. You still have to figure out, okay, like, does that mean trading a player away? Is that player important to the team? You know, like, there's so much that goes into making a move that massive. Outside of that, there wasn't a move that you really were going to make that was going to drastically improve your team more than possibly what, hopefully, if you start to get some of these picks right here, a second-round pick could do for you. So I think it just kind of came down to, is there something that out there that's going to improve our team drastically that we have to go get? And if it is that guy, okay, what else are we sacrificing here in the future to make up for that to happen right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also saw another report, too, like they also didn't want to overpay as well because he wanted to target Jermaine Johnson, and they're asking for a second-round pick. So it felt a little rich for my blood, to be honest. If you're asking for a second-round pick, somebody like Trey Hendrickson or even Jermaine Johnson, it's just not worth it because at that point it will simply be another Montez Sweat situation. And you bring up a good point because it just simply cannot happen. However, on the bright side of things, we've seen the offense improving little by little and really hit a massive stride last week. Granted, it was the Bengals, but you would hope they would perform against a bad team like that. Do you think the offense can keep it rolling for the next couple of games, especially that we have, kind of a tougher stretch coming up with the Vikings soon and a more division-oriented schedule?
Listen, it'll be interesting to see what this Bears team looks like with, for sure, tougher competition than what you have played to this point. But I think you have to feel like this upcoming Sunday's game is incredibly important to win here. And as you're moving forward past that, the offense itself feels like it has kind of locked in. And you're seeing traits that should still be well utilized versus tougher teams, I guess. Like when you look at how Roma Dunze and how DJ Moore are blocking, when you look at how guys are getting open, when you look at the emergence of Colston Loveland, it doesn't matter who's in front of Kyle Monangai when you turn around and hand him that football, right? Like he's going to try and run through your face. So to me, when you're taking all of that into account, like you really do have the makings of a dominant offense right now. The Bears are a top 10 offense in a bunch of different metrics this season, a top 3 team running the football this year. They're 10th in passing right now. I mean, like, they're 6th in points per game this year. Like, it feels like it's not just you played some down teams, you were able to get your numbers up. It feels like at the core, the principles of what Ben Johnson is instilling in this team have started to take hold. And listen, he said we'd be playing our best football by December. We're early on in November. You're playing some really good football now. December's when you're going to have those toughest opponents. So if that's when you're playing your best football, that's the time to show it.
Man, I'm so hyped. We finally have a good team. In my entire lifetime, I don't think I've been, competent enough to understand when our teams were good. So it's so cool to see. Like, whew.
No, listen, it's massive as a lifelong diehard Bears fan. I think the thing for me is right, like nobody's leaving. It doesn't feel like anyone, right? You're not losing Dennis Allen. You're not losing your offensive coordinator with Ben Johnson. You're maintaining this for the future. And you're seeing 5-3 right now, and possibly 6-3 this Sunday if they can go in there and handle business versus the Giants. And like, it feels like there's so much more that they still need to do. It feels like there's so much more for them to unlock. So it's a lot of fun, like being at this point where you're like, this is the beginning. Does it get better from here? Like, as Bears fans, we haven't been there very often.
Unfortunately not. I mean, it seems like we're getting better. And speaking of better and great, Colston Loveland. Fatima, go ahead.
Hi, Pat. So Colston Loveland was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And this most recent game against the Bengals, he had 118 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning 58-yard touchdown. Now, do you see Caleb looking for him more often?
I think it's a combination of things. And Ben talked about this when we had him in press conferences. Getting Colston involved in the play call a little bit earlier, he was definitely a big part of the game plan. And you see the differences, right? Like some weeks it's going to be Colston where he is the focal point. Some weeks it's going to be Rome. Last week it wasn't Rome, and you needed Rome to block for Colston on that game-winning touchdown. You know what I mean? Like I think that Colston is going to become a bigger part of this offense the more we go through the rest of this season. But I don't know if I could sit here and tell you, week in and week out, Colston Loveland's going to get 10 targets. And I think that's the thing, where in our mind we look and we say this is the go-to guy that you have to force feed the ball to. To me, I love the fact that you can have a game with DJ Moore where he cooks. You can have a game where Luther Burden is getting his. You can have a game where Rome Odunze is dominating, because it makes you to the point where now you're one of those offenses like what they have over in Cincinnati, where it's like, well, Jamar Chase only went off for 65 yards today, but T. Higgins had 167. So I think, to me, like, is Colston going to continue to be involved in the offense heavily? Yes. Does that mean he's going to have 118 every single week? Probably not. And I think that's a better way to operate your offense.
Yeah, and better way to operate it. Kyle Monangai, he was an awesome surprise. I mean, we really needed something there and a bigger spark, because we know what DeAndre Swift's capable of, but having him bring that extra spark and what we really needed in this entire offense was fantastic. I mean, I was ecstatic for the fact that we were able to go ahead and use him the way he was used. He was able to break free. I mean, almost all of his yards, if not all, came after contact. Like, that's something we don't see with Swift. What do you see his role being, especially after Ben Johnson said we're going to keep right in the hot hand with Kyle Monangai?
You know what? I think a lot of people left that game and they felt like, okay, we've got our answer here at the running back. But DeAndre Swift over the last few weeks, and if you listen to the Bears pod, if you listen to the Breeze, you guys know I am not a pay the running back guy. I'm not a big go out there and give $8 million to a guy. I think you need to move on from big contracts like that, no matter situation when it comes to running backs, because of a guy like Kyle Monangai, who you can find in the 7th round. And you use that money to pay very good offensive linemen to open holes for him to run. I think that's the biggest difference that we're seeing right now between him and Ashton Genty. But with all that being said, DeAndre Swift has been balling. And so the conversation to me shouldn't be, okay, is it now the Kyle Monangai show? It's, oh, snap, can we recreate what Gibbs and Monty did up in Detroit? Is this finally becoming that thunder and lightning offense that we saw so often work so well? And I think what it does, the fact that DeAndre Swift is running the football, he's running it hard, he's getting that 4.5 that Eric Bieniemy talked to us about, that's what he wants to see this offense get continually, 4.5 yards, no matter the situation. He's doing it inside zone. He's doing it outside zone. Kyle Monangai is also doing that. That means that you can have, very similar to what they're doing down in Tampa Bay right now with the when he was healthy with Bucky Irving and Rashad White, where they would have entire drives and one guy would just be getting rest on the sideline. Like, that makes this offense even more dangerous, because now you've got fresh legs from both running backs. You're able to go further in the game, and you're able to wear out that defense that doesn't get the chance to take the same breaks that the running backs will get.
Now, who do you think is going to get the bigger of the load between the two? Do you think it's going to be Monangai going forward, or are they going to kind of rest Swift and then let Monangai take it, or vice versa?
Well, I think this week's going to be interesting. DeAndre Swift was a full go at practice, and then today it ended up coming out that he had a non-injury related reason that he was DNP. Don't know what the situation is there, if this was something on the schedule already or not. But to me, I think it's, who's working, who's running hard, very similar to the conversation that we had earlier about, utilizing the tight ends and wide receivers and who's going to get the lion's share. Listen, DeAndre Swift is having a better day than Kyle Monangai. You still throw him out there, but you give DeAndre Swift the lion's share of the carries. If Kyle Monangai's out there dominating, I think you can kind of do that because those guys bring different aspects to their game. When you get DeAndre Swift in space, that's a very dangerous player as well. I think the conversation also could be, can you get both of those guys on the field at the same time at times to use that as a weapon? Like, there's so much that you can do with both of those guys in there at the running back position. And so for me, I think it's going to be who gets the lion's share. There is no such thing really in the NFL as a every down, 3-down back. There's running back by committee. Whoever's having a hot foot that day, that's who you give the ball to.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think you always have to put the player that's going to give you the best chance to win and put your team in the best possible position to win. And speaking of being put in the best possible position to win, let's talk about this kicker situation because it genuinely felt very upsetting about this. And one of our members wants to ask you about this because it was very frustrating to see in that game.
Yeah, the Bears definitely have a situation there at the kicker position. As we've seen, Cairo Santos has been starting kicker. In this Bengals game, you see he missed the field goal. Definitely a bit of a situation there, and it's had people talking about potentially wanting Moody to be the starting kicker for the Bears. What do you think about that?
I mean, listen, here's the reality of it. If you elevate Jake Moody, it's time to cut bait. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to put Cairo Santos on the practice squad. You're going to end up releasing him. So I think they have to think about that as well. Plus, like in a game like today or this Sunday coming up where it's supposed to be, I think it's scheduled for 15 to 25 mile an hour winds and snowfall that day, right? Like, you want a guy like Cairo Santos out there. Do you want the guy that has all the leg in the world and can make it from 100 yards back? Yeah, sure. I would rather have that guy than Cairo, who you feel like is coming up short at times. But at the same time, the accuracy, especially on a night like this coming Sunday, is going to be very important for this Bears team at Soldier Field. There's not a lot of guys that can go out there and do that. The worst situation that you end up in is if you cut Cairo because he had a bad game, and then off of that, you sit there and you put Jake Moody in, and Jake Moody's not the kicker in Soldier Field that Cairo Santos is. Now, here is the big thing. To me, if you, maybe not in this game, but moving forward, if you keep missing kicks, you're going to get cut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen anybody come in and swoop up Jake Moody yet, so he's still available on the Bears practice squad for them to bring it up. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, he's kicking for his life this week, but because of the elements and stuff like that. But I think moving forward, like, there is kind of a, hey, but, like, this is your football mortality right here. And if you don't start knocking some of these through and start hitting some of these longer ones, we're going to make a move here.
Now, building off of that, what are your game predictions for this Bears versus Giants game, especially with potentially snow being forecasted? This could mean a pretty strong run game for us. How are you feeling about it? What's your score prediction?
Listen, I believe in it. I believe in this Bears team. I said 34-21. I think the Bears come out there and win. I believe in this Bears offense more than anything. With the way you've gotten the running game going, the way that the offensive line is opening things up. You saw Darno, right? I mean, he was just moving human beings out of the way. It reminded me of, I think I tweeted it out. It was that scene in Blindside. It was like, where are you taking him, son? He needed to go have a seat on the bus. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those situations. Like,
put him back on the bench.
So, yeah, what you're seeing out of this team running the football right now is advantage Bears. And when you get in the red zone, you have to have clean operation yet again. They had better operation pre-snap penalty. You got in the red zone, you scored on 4 of 6 opportunities. But you do got Brian Burns on the other side. So, to me, this is going to be one of the tougher matchups that the Bears have as far as that defensive front line, Kevin Thibodeau as well. But outside of that, I just feel like the Giants are a poorly coached team. I feel like the Bears have all the momentum right now, and Ben Johnson has the standard set, and he's not letting them believe, oh, this is a weak team that you need to take lightly. No, he's foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, like, let's get this thing right. So I feel like the Bears are going to go in here at Soldier Field and run a little rough shot on the Giants. I feel like it's going to be a very fun day for Bears fans, and I got a big victory here. Defensively, you got to contain Jackson Dart and keep him essentially throwing the football all day. That's kind of when you see him start to get away with some of the crazy things and just go out there and ball. It's usually when he's able to get his legs involved in it. Keep him in the pocket, and I think this is a Bears win.
Yeah, and you brought it up. We're a way different team, and like you even highlighted it before, recently on Advanced Analytics, we have Swift ranked as a 4th in terms of impact, Munungai 7, Darnell Wright 3rd, Dahlman 7, and Tremaine Edmonds 1st. Like, we have players in top 10 positions right now with Advanced Analytics. Like, we really need them to step up and continuously do what they're doing every single week. And we should get the win, and we should be able to win convincingly, but we've seen how it's gone and how it's been with this depleted secondary and defense, especially with TJ Edwards out. Now, I guess my question to you would be, besides Jackson Dart, is there any way you see them kind of moving the ball down the field on us with Scatterboo out? Because we even saw that Joe Flacco looked good against us. Chase Brown had his situations. They don't have a T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, no Malik Neighbors. But knowing this defense so far, is there anything that we should be worried about and Dennis Allen should come in taken seriously, especially with some linebackers and corners out?
Well, listen, you always got to take these guys seriously. I mean, it's a professional football team. If you don't take them seriously, they will find a way to beat you. And they've been competitive in these games. I mean, it's not like they're sitting here getting rough shot run over them. They lost that Broncos game, which is tough. But it's weird to say, right? Like I think this is a much better 2-7 football team. Very similar. Well, I ain't gonna say very similar because the Ravens were getting healthy, so that's a very different conversation. But like, kind of that sense of like this is a 2-7 football team that will make you work the entire day, and if you take them lightly at any point, you could get beat. To me, Jackson Dart's the biggest thing that you have to contain. The run game for them has not been great without Scatterbo out there. I mean, you're trying to get kind of a combination of Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary there. But to be honest with you, you just don't have the offensive line right now to just move guys around. Now, with that being said, the Bears haven't had the defensive line that has dominated getting to the quarterback, and that's what makes Jackson Dart a lot scarier to me than maybe he should be at this point. To me, Dart's a baller, man. Like I don't think he's elite, but he does remind me of like a young Baker Mayfield, where it was just like, whatever I got to do to try and get my team a win, I'm willing to do it. You know what I mean? It was the Dan Campbell, I'll bite your kneecaps on the way down. Like, he's that kind of mindset guy to me. And so I think he's the biggest thing that you have to worry about. But the Bears have done a good job containing the run over the last couple of weeks. And if you can keep Devin Singletary, Tyrone Tracy, and keep Jackson Dart in the pocket, I think this is advantage Bears in a big way.
Now, speaking of, and one more question before we get you out of here, added pass rushers, Joe Tyron. What is it? What is his last name?
Shoyinka,
I've already forgotten his last name. Oh, my God.
Joy Tryon Shoyinka.
Shoyinka. Okay. That's, I'm going to forget that. Just like Dio Odiembo.
Oh,
like, why are we getting all these players with all these difficult-to-pronounce names? You know, we could have just gotten, like, Myles Garrett. It'd be so easy. We'd all be having a great time. It's so simple. Yeah, you know, we could have traded a 7th for him. That would have worked. But how do you think that he is going to impact this defense? Do you think that we're going to see anything with him at all? Is it going to be like a Darrell Taylor situation where he comes in semi-impact before other teams figure him out and then they block him down? Or is he just not going to have any impact at all?
Well, listen, I mean, he was an impact player in his time down in Tampa Bay, right? And he was somebody who had a 5-sack season, had a bunch of pressures, but he was behind players that were better than him. I think that he's a rotation piece. That doesn't mean that I don't think that he doesn't have pass rush skill, pass rush moves, and can actually get to a quarterback and at least at a minimum create pressure. For me, I like pressure over the sacks because I think that's how you get the turnover numbers so much higher, especially what we've seen this season from this Bears team. So I want to see that pressure maintained. I want to see this team dominate from that sense. But I think the big thing, if you are the Bears with a guy like Joe Tryon, is he giving you more than Dio? I mean, if he goes on the field and breathes near a quarterback, he's giving you more than Dio. Like, Dio has not lived up. He's not been good enough. I have John Yurkovich on the Chicago Bears podcast. He's talked about how he doesn't really have a pass rush move. He's trying. He's a high-energy guy. He's trying to get to the quarterback. It's not for lack of effort, but the effort isn't getting the job done, and at times it's playing him out of position. So, to me, when you look at a guy like Joe Tryon, it feels like, at a minimum, he's got a couple of pass rush moves in the bag. He knows how to kind of set that edge, very, very similar to what Dennis Allen wants to see. And I think that's why he could be more impactful. But this is all eyes on Austin Booker now. Like,
yes.
If it's not your time to shine now, when is? And you had a flash play very early on, and all I want to see is don't give me Robinson rookie year, right? Remember, he ended up figuring out,
Tom Rob.
Every time he lifted the hand off the ball, or every time he was going for a pass set, he would move his hand a little bit, and I could see it. And then we didn't see him get a sack for, months years after that, honestly. And he became more of a special teams guy. Like, continue to build on this. That was a great play, strip sack on Flacco. What are you going to do this week? Because he may be the key to this pass rush if he gets the opportunity to do it.
I agree, and it feels like they're going all in with Austin Booker now. Like, Dio's out. They probably brought in Shoenka just to move him up a little bit. And it feels like right now they're putting Austin Booker on obvious pass rushing down so he could go in and let him get at it. And I'm excited to see him this week because, this is a beat-up Giants O-line team, a team to get his confidence up. And it would be fantastic to see his development. I still would like to see him bulk up a little bit because he does feel a little bit undersized still. But he is by no means bad at all. He made Orlando Brown, who's 6'8", like 350, look like a dummy on the ground after he pushed him on the ground and strip sacked Joe Flacco. And I guess before we leave here, after this stretch right here with this Giants game, we do have a tougher schedule coming up. Mm-hmm. How important do you think these games are, either for specific players, team as a whole, coaching staff, because there are serious playoff implications coming up soon?
Yeah, listen, I think everything's important for these guys. The thing that I've continued to say is, when a new coaching staff comes in, I feel bad saying it to Bears fans, but your favorite Chicago Bear may not be your favorite Chicago Bear in 2 years because he probably won't be on the team. I think that's what this is about, and it was also the reason I didn't want to see Ryan Poles make a ton of big moves, because I think you're trying to figure out what players you have when things get tough. It's been all sunshine and rainbows for the most part outside of one game, and in that one game, you didn't see the Bears give their best effort. Ben Johnson talked about that a ton. With that being the case, now when you get into these tougher games, when you're playing Philly's defense, when you're going out there versus Green Bay, when you're going out there versus Minnesota, who seems like they've picked up a little bit of steam here, again, bringing back J.J. McCarthy, you're going to have to look at some of these guys on the team and say, hey, when things got tough, did he keep blocking? Did receiver X keep his attitude in the right spot? Did defensive end Y keep rushing nearly as hard as we needed them to? Because by the time you get to the end of the season, you're going to start looking around and say, Ben Johnson is, and say, we want to reshape this team and our image and with what we want to build, and that guy does not fit what we want to build, so we're going to move on from him. To me, you're still figuring that out. That's what's going to be so important in these final 9 games of the season here.
Absolutely. And I trust Ben Johnson all the way through. There's absolutely no reason to trust him. He has the best attitude towards his team. He realized we needed that humbling loss against the Ravens, and he was just unbelievable. And speaking of unbelievable, you have been unbelievable. Pat, thank you so much. Your insights
thank you.
You're one of one, man. We want to thank you beyond anything.
Man, I appreciate you guys reaching out. I appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Of course, dude. Anytime. This is awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Pat. And with that, we will be going back to ad break, right?
Yes, we will. We want to thank you, man, and we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully we get you back on here.
Sounds good. Absolutely, man.
We'll talk to you, boss. You take care.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, we'll be going to ad break. We just want to give another special shout-out to our boy Pat here. Yes. Always amazing, great insight.
At Pat the Designer.
Yes, please follow him. Super receptive guy. We'll go ahead and come back, just give our score predictions, and we'll go ahead and wrap up for BDown Breakdown. We'll see you guys in a minute.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there. You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Welcome back to Bear Down Breakdown. It is season 2, episode 6. I am your host, Gustavo Arriaga. Pat, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate him. He's our guy. Ronan, you did a great job bringing him on.
I did, yes.
It's a fantastic role. Now, speaking of fantastic role, what is our role in predicting the Bears game? Is this a win, loss, tie, scary?
If we don't win this game, my hatred for New York is only going to increase.
Oh, it's already there.
The only reason they're going to win is because who just got elected mayor, the Mamdani guy.
Yes, they have the Mamdani spark. Well,
you think is he gonna be at? Is it at Soldier?
It's at Soldier Field. Yeah, it's here, dude. It lives as it's forecasted snow for Sunday and Chicago. You don't pay attention. You're a fake fan. You're gonna get your job taken by Fatima over here.
I have employment opportunities. Okay, employment. Okay. What is it? Responsibilities.
Don't use that slur around here, all right? We don't talk about
not the
J-O-Bs.
J slur.
The E word?
Yeah, we don't want any of that around here. The J or the E.
Okay.
All right, Fatima,
my
kick
predictions.
us off. You spoke enough. Let Fatima go and lock in here. Yeah. Talk to us.
The Bears should really win this game. I can't see why they wouldn't. You know, there's notable absences. They don't have Scatterbo. They don't have Malik Neighbors. I'm hoping that this is a game where the defense can kind of bounce back, maybe have some takeaways. I'm expecting. I want a good game from Darnell, right? And
against Brian Burns.
Mm-hmm. This can be another game where he can keep showing his quality and why he's really one of the best OTs in the league. And also, the Giants tend to give up a lot of yards to tight ends, so it would also be great if we have a good game from Colston Loveland as well.
Legacy game. Yeah, I love it. Ronan, talk about that.
Dude, we need a Loveland legacy game.
Back-to-back legacy games?
That would be huge. That'd be so huge.
And who would win then? I guess talk to us now.
Us. If we don't win this game, we suck.
Yeah, genuinely.
We suck. You remember my DM with Eddie Jackson?
Yeah, dude. You're like, dude, we suck, man. And he was like, y'all good.
Dude, we effing suck. Please come back. And he's like, we'll be good, bro.
Wait, how did he answer you so quick, though? That's what I don't understand.
Well, you have to take advantage when it's like athletes are obviously on their phones checking their DMs. Like you can see sometimes. Minutes. You can see sometimes with those verified people who don't follow you back. It'll be like active now if you DM them.
Did not know that.
I DM'd that John Sarazani guy one time when I was like kind of drunk. I was just like, because I had been playing blackjack and I was like watching some of his videos.
Dude, you're
and I'm like, I love your videos so much. And he responded and like posted on his Instagram, and I woke up, I'm like, oh, that's okay. Like, wait, I said that.
You were so happy. Well, I guess score prediction. What do you think the score is going to be? Because Pat thinks it's going to be 31-24, 7-score game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 35-21. I think we do really good. I think there's 2 rushing touchdowns. I can't believe we had a Britton Brown touchdown last time.
Dude, another 7th-round guy. Right?
No, but I think Monungai gets the majority of the load.
I agree.
And,
I feel like he's better suited for the snow for sure. I feel like DeAndre Swift has the problems of like ball carrying vision and like slipping because Monungai has never fumbled at Rutgers ever.
He's got good base on the bottom.
He does. I mean, that's important.
Fatima, your score predictions. Yes. We're getting moving.
Give us a score.
30-ish, 17, 16.
30 what?
I said like 30-ish, whether it's like 31,
in the 30s?
32,
okay.
In 30s.
We should score 30. Like, realistically, this is a game for the Bears to be back at Soldier Field, at home, dominate on the ground, and maybe let Caleb only throw 20 times and not, force his hand too much when we need him more for next week's game against, I think, the Steelers. So we got to get it going. Bears should win. I have us winning 34-20. I think we allow maybe like 2 touchdowns and like a field goal, as this is what I'm hoping for because it's sorry defense. We should win pretty comfortably, and I'm hoping the Bears don't do what they did to us last time because I almost went in the cardiac arrest. Bears should win All three of us got us the Bears winning. It's going to be a snow game. It's going to be a great game. And the Bears are going to move from 5-3 to 6-3. Ain't that right, Ronan?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Well, that is it, everybody, for Bear Down Breakdown. I'm your host, Gustavo Arriaga, with my great co-host.
Ronan Clark.
And our other host, Fatima. Thank you for popping up. And Pat, thank you